over 400,000 Ukrainian women and children have entered into Moldova. Now we know that about 300,000 of them have exited Moldova and just carried on, further into Europe. But there's over 100,000 people that are in Moldova and they're stuck in limbo. Often they are the poorest of the families that are fleeing the fighting in Ukraine. Some of the work that we've been doing has been right at the border, where we've hired out catering trucks and giving them comfort food and soups and chilies just to feed mom and her kids as they come across the border, making that harrowing journey.
We've also been providing meals at the train stations in Moldova to support refugees who are, again, leaving the country and moving further west into Europe. It helps sustain a long journey ahead and relieves a bit of the stress of having to access food while also managing everything else going on in their lives at the moment.
We've delivered 89 portions of breakfast for the refugees staying here.
We've also hired caterers to come in and provide breakfast or lunch in some of the shelters where people have been seeking longer-term refuge and they just don't have food available to eat. So we've been covering the cost of those foods.
Finally, our biggest food program has been packing food hampers to distribute to people in Chisinau, the capital city of Moldova, as well as surrounding areas in the country. We've hired local women who are farmers who pack the food kits for us. They contain a variety of items, including buckwheat, rice, pasta, potatoes, cabbage, apples, a variety of foods, all familiar to Ukrainians.
We distribute that hamper to 1,000 families every single week. We then take some of those kits and we run them down into Odessa to be distributed into Ukraine for families still seeking refuge there. In other shelters, we've been providing things like hygiene items. In some of the camps that are more in the countryside where people have been seeking refuge, we've been providing firewood just to keep the boiler going, to give them hot water, and then giving them laundry services by installing washing machines or providing laundry detergent. Sometimes we'll go and buy toys for the kids. Moldova is a very quiet crisis because no one really thinks of Moldova, but there are over 100,000 women and children seeking refuge, and we're helping to keep them alive.